Madhuji is not there. Madhuji has not joined. Okay. Okay, Sangeeta, the floor is yours. Over to you.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to everybody. Um, I'm pleased to be the moderator for the Swavalamban Sashakt webinar series number 20. This is the second series and this is the last episode of this series. This has been organized by COWE India in association with SIDBI in the true spirit of AZADI Ka Amrit Mahotsav to promote the Stand Up India scheme of the Government of India. A little bit about myself. My name is Sangeeta Singh. I'm a life member of the COWE Rajasthan chapter. I had a career in teaching for over 20 years, and now I'm an aspiring and budding entrepreneur. So I listen with great interest to each session of this. I now invite Ms. Nidhi Toshniwal, National Secretary of COWE India and the chairperson of the webinar series, to give the opening remarks. Nidhi is also a core group member of Jagriti, an NGO working towards the education of underprivileged children. Welcome, Nidhi.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Welcome everyone to this grand finale episode of our 20 webinar series. And it's an honor and pleasure to brief you about what the series was all about. Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs of India, along with SIDBI, has launched the Swavalamban Sashakt webinar series. Sangeeta, can we have you on mute?
Yes.
Yeah. Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs of India, along with SIDBI, has launched the Swavalamban Sashakt Mega Campaign Series 2, a series of one-day awareness, outreach, and business opportunity program in the true spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat to give fillip to Stand Up India scheme, a flagship program launched by our Honorable Prime Minister of India to increase the effectiveness of SUI program and strengthen the MSME ecosystem, targeted at the development of unserved, undeserved youth and entrepreneurs from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and women from all backgrounds. This program aims to penetrate and expand the outreach of financial assistance to women entrepreneurs. Swavalamban Sashakt, it has been an attempt to ignite the spark for business leadership in the targeted aspirant women entrepreneurs. This awareness, outreach, and business opportunity program is a participative interaction by providing a platform for awareness and genesis of business development. It has been an opportunity for the invited businesses to showcase their business models, the aspiring women entrepreneurs to identify business of their choice, and the financial institutions to generate business leads and guide aspirants on their expectations. Since it's our final webinar, it has been an honor and pleasure to be chairperson of this webinar series, along with my co-chair Aparna Darsi and Secretary Rupa Khandelwal, along with our national chairperson, national president, Ms. Madhu Tyagi, who has been inspirational in putting this webinar series together. It has been a wonderful experience reaching out to more than 2,000 women entrepreneurs across India and lots of business leaders who have inspired and guided the women entrepreneurs, as well as expert speakers, motivational speakers, bankers who have supported us, and all the Stand Up India beneficiaries who have been part of this series. It has been a heartening experience. And all those who have joined us throughout this series, it has been a wonderful experience to have all of you with us. And I would like to thank SIDBI for giving this opportunity to us and our team members, Ms. Anamika Rajkumari, Ritu Girdhar, Dr. R.K. Singh, and all the others who motivated and trusted COWE India to curate this series. Thank you so much. It's over to you, Sangeeta. Sangeeta, please unmute.
Thank you, Nidhi. I'd now like to invite Ms. Shivani Bora, President COWE Rajasthan and Director Pratap Cold Storage to give the welcome address. Over to you, Shivani.
A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone here. We are delighted to be the host for this concluding webinar. And I welcome on behalf of COWE Rajasthan, Ms. Anamika from SIDBI, Dr. Susmita Bhattacharjee, our expert speaker for today, Mr. Akhilesh Trivedi, Global Mentor and Strategist, Dr. J. Mohan Sundari, our motivational speaker for today, Ms. Sushila K., our banker, and SUI beneficiary for today, Ms. Preeti Agarwal. Our founder member, Ms. Uma Gurkha, all our COWE members, and our fellow COWE chapter presidents. A warm welcome to all of you. Transition or a switch to green energy is like certainly making an investment for your future. In today's webinar, we are going to unfold the many prospects available in the renewable energy sector. Thank you.
Mute yourself.
You're on
Sunita.
mute. You're on mute.
Unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. I'd now like to invite Ms. Anamika Rajkumariji, Manager SIDBI, to take us through the journey of the Swavalamban Sashakt series, of which SIDBI has been a very important part. Over to Ms. Anamika Rajkumariji.
Wait. First, the welcome. Miss Uma Gurkhaji will speak.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, before that,
Rupa, it's okay. Now we can continue. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Not important.
we will do the SIDBI speak first, and
Yes,
then
no worries. No worries. Let's continue. Yeah. Anamika ji?
Yeah, I'm just. Hi, good afternoon, all. Actually, good afternoon to all the participants and the speakers of today's webinar series. In fact, I'm feeling very emotional about this webinar because we have started this webinar with lots of uh, thinking how to come and way forward we have, and I have been there in this webinar series journey from the beginning. And today we are at the 20th and the final webinar series of this Swavalamban Sashakt. And sorry, am I? And actually, we have started this webinar series with an aim to motivate youths to pursue their journey towards entrepreneurship and to increase the penetration and the outreach of the Stand Up India scheme, as well as encouraging the woman to become an entrepreneur. And today is the 20th session of this webinar series. And now Nidhi has also said that we have in this webinar series, we could kindle aspiration of more than 200 women and the student aspirants in this webinar. And actually, this webinar series was started in February 2021 as a first series, and and we thought we can continue this as a second series also, and the second series was started in February 2022, and we are coming to the end of this webinar series, and I'm very happy to share that with this webinar series we can reach our objective to spread awareness, and we could give awareness, and we could even discuss about the many business model that can be that a woman aspirants or any aspirants who wanted to become an entrepreneur can take a clue, and they themselves can become a Swavalambi. And I'm very happy to be a part of this webinar series, and I would like to congratulate to all the COWE team members and best wishes to all the aspirants who have been attending, and I could see that some of the what do you say, aspirants has been attending the webinar series, not only once, they have been continuously attending the webinar also. And best wishes to all the aspirants, and we would continue to do such programs, and we want to see more and more aspirants coming out, especially the woman entrepreneur coming out in the country. And that's all I wanted to say for today. And regarding the schemes, I think our banker, ma'am, will be telling more about the scheme. So I would like to end, and best wishes to COWE teams and all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajkumari ji, for your encouraging words and best wishes. I'd now like to invite Ms. Uma Gurkha ji, Founder Director, COWE India, and founder of the Thermo Group of Industries, which are the manufacturers of exclusive products which are import substitute. Ms. Uma Gurkha is in pass out from IIT Chennai in electrical engineering, and I would like her to now tell us more about COWE India. Ms. Uma Gurkha ji, please.
Good afternoon and very warm wishes to everybody, to Ms. Anamika ji, Manager SIDBI, to us expert speakers of today, Ms. Susmita Bhattacharjee, Mr. Akhilesh ji Trivedi, our banker, Ms. Sushila ji, our SUI beneficiary, friends of COWE, and all aspiring women entrepreneurs. It's my pleasure to be able to talk about COWE. I will just share a screen to a PPT, just run you through what COWE is all about. It was in 2004 that 6 successful first generation women entrepreneurs decided to come together to create a platform that could help other women entrepreneurs to build themselves, to motivate them into entrepreneurship, to build them in their journey in entrepreneurship. We wanted to create an ecosystem where women could support other women, because a lot of women do not get that kind of facility that they could through their homes or environment around. So 2004, November 22nd, we formed this not-for-profit company, Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, with a vision to build an association of women business owners who will propel other women into economic and social power. The mission, the way we wish to do it, and we have been doing it, is through various activities, create a center of excellence for women where they can gain knowledge, develop their skills, provide infrastructure facilities, access to various resources, promote their marketing, and most importantly, of course, is to create a spirit of entrepreneurship in women or girls while they are young. So headquartered in Hyderabad, we today, when we started with 11 members, we started with 6 founders and 22 members who joined us. We are today 1,000 plus across 11 states of the country. You can see the blue colored states: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, UP, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, West Bengal. We cover 11 states across the country. We have, through the years, been recognized for our work. We are the only NGO that NSIC has signed up with to bring their programs to the grassroots level. They have many programs for women entrepreneurs, and they've signed up so that we can take it to the grassroots level. We had been adjudged as the best business association by the Federation of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We have many certifications. ATG is a certificate where any donation given, the donor can get a benefit of 50% of the amount, again from income tax exemption. We are registered with FCRA, so it helps us to get foreign donations. We are ISO 9000 certified, and we have the gold NABARD certificate for which is required for an NGO. Over the years, what we have done, we have mentored about 100,000 women in the last 18 years. We've been on the board of NIMSME, and I'm glad to tell you again, we have been nominated on the board of NIMSME starting from this February for the next 2 years. A COWE member, the COWE director will be on the board of NIMSME, and we are a registered technical agency for the Spruti scheme, where the scheme is to bring many benefits from the government to clusters. And we are a technical agency there. We are a hand-holding agency for Stand Up India. You can see that's the job we are doing right now through these webinars too. And we have been registered with various training centers. We've had many MOUs with similar business organizations. Ms. Rani, can you please mute yourself? And so on in the years.
Speaker
Rani, Ms. Rani, please mute yourself. Rani?
Yeah.
Mute yourself, please.
Karthik, please mute everyone else except Umaji.
Okay, so now what we do, multiple activities. Marketing linkages, which is very important for any business to grow. We try to create the marketing linkages. Training programs we do for them to for increasing of knowledge and skills. Conducting workshops and seminars, again for knowledge and for networking. Mentoring support, infrastructure support. We have some CSR projects we support, we work on through support of others. Counseling and knowledge dissemination, advocacy with the government, another important thing that we do, and linking with other partners so that together we achieve much more. I'll go into a little detail of this linkage, market linkages. We conduct exhibitions, both offline and online. Online exhibitions, offline we have been doing for the last many years. Which are supported by the government, and therefore through the MSME or the NSIC, and therefore women can exhibit their products at almost negligible cost. Online exhibition is one thing that we started during the lockdown period, and that was extremely successful. In fact, our association with SIDBI, we have been, there has been support from SIDBI over the years, but a real partnership that I should say with SIDBI started with this online COWE Mart that we had conducted, and SIDBI noticed the good work because during the lockdown, a lot of women would have suffered. This COWE Mart helped them to continue their business, find their markets, and SIDBI noticing this has actually approached COWE and asked us to, get online many more of entrepreneurs, and they supported us. And from then on started our partnership with SIDBI, which has been one of the most beautiful and successful partnerships. They have been supporting us over various programs, and we have been trying to do our best to take forward schemes of Stand Up India to people to do the best we can to support women entrepreneurs. So this was one of our online. Then we, of course, tie up with various organizations, network to get more market linkages. Training programs, we do entrepreneurial development programs, we do entrepreneurial skill development programs, and we do workshops on specific fields. It could be on tailoring, it could be on food, it could be on blue pottery that was done by Rajasthan, it could be on various, on IT, so that a person gets skilled in that area and can consider, putting up their business in those areas. Seminars and conferences we have been conducting for networking, to connect up, for awareness, to know what's happening around. And this we do as a yearly event, we do some seminar or conference. Business networking through seminars and conferences, but then otherwise also through our WhatsApp group, there's a lot of networking, sharing. Now through social media, we are doing a lot. We have had brand walks where they exhibit their products through brand walks and such events. Mentoring support to our members by connecting them with funding agencies, by creating linkages, with consultants in specific areas. We are affiliated with incubators and we have our own incubators. These are the kind of support systems we give them. Infrastructure support is, we have at Telangana in Tupran, we have been allotted 30 acres of land exclusively for women entrepreneurs. And this is the first engineering industrial park of women in the country. This has, the thing has, give me a minute, I'll just put this in. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. So this is one of the important things where women got support to set up their industries. We work on CSR projects too. Here, this among various that we have, this is one where we set up daycare centers. It's called Aveksha daycare centers for working women, the blue-collared working women in industries, to take care of the children of these women who can then go to work free of tension and stress of how their children have to be taken care of. So we have so far set up 6 daycare centers and our target is to set up 20. And this is again with the support of SIDBI that we are able to do this. Advocacy with the government. We, being so widely spread and with such large numbers, know exactly what is the problem that challenges that women face. So we try to bring up these to the government levels to see that there are suitable policies made to address these. Among one of the many ways we have been, I'm glad to inform you that the budget of February 2021, COWE was the only women organization that was invited to be on a webinar along with our Honorable Prime Minister and Finance Minister, where we shared our views on the budget. Our National Secretary and our National President had been invited on that webinar. We do a lot of counseling and knowledge dissemination sessions. This happens through exposure visits to industries, exposure visits abroad also, where again we get support from the government to do it. We tie up with similar organizations abroad to expose, to take our members out and know what's happening around. In our journey, we have had many partners, many of them who supported, many of them who collaborated with us to take things forward. This is just some of them. Paushatik is another program where we are trying to create food, women entrepreneurs in the food sector, and majorly in the rural area. We have done this in Andhra and Telangana, where we have had competitions on healthy food, and all in the rural area to bring from the district, so that they came forward. Many of them came forward for the first time and knew this. And now, after having selected good women in cooking, we are trying to give them an exposure into what it goes into setting up a business and how they can grow their business, grow their talent into a business. We are working on setting up a Haldi cluster. That is the Shruti scheme, where we are the technical agency and we are trying to support about 700 tribal farmers of Haldi to see that their produce gets much better market, can be upgraded and therefore get much better returns. And we hope through this, we can increase their incomes by 2 to 3 times at least. Young COWE is another initiative of ours where we believe in catching girls young while in college and change the mindset of thinking of a job and start thinking of entrepreneurship while in college. So we conduct, Fempreneur is an event where we conduct competition on business ideas and encourage women to girls of college to come forward with ideas of businesses, and that encouragement and recognition, and then motivate them to take their idea forward. we tie up with the institutions, the entrepreneurial development cell of colleges, and see how we can promote the idea of entrepreneurship while in college itself. So we have the young COWE that does these activities. We have many plans for the next few years. Just to mention a few, we have already one incubator, which I did not cover, set up in Hyderabad, but we want to set up 3 incubators in 3 states at least. We want to develop more micro clusters like the Haldi cluster. We want to expand young COWE. We want to set up a permanent marketplace for women entrepreneurs called COWE Heart. We are today in 11 states, but we want to expand to another 4 states in the next 3 years, and many more plans. While there's been a lot we have achieved, but we know that there's lots more to do, and we stay totally committed to the cause of facilitating, supporting women supporting each other to motivate and grow and get empowered. So thank you. With this, I think I have covered all that I have to say about COWE. I think that if there's anything anybody wants to ask, but otherwise we can proceed.
Thank you very much, Uma ji. That was most informative, and it showed us how expansive the scope of COWE has been and will be in the future. And we are very grateful to you and the other 5 founder members for founding this very nice enterprise. And before we go on to the expert speaker, I just like to request all participants to, all these sessions will be followed by a question answer session. So you can either put up the hand emoji or you can put your question in the chat box. And when you're unmuted, you may ask your question to the expert speaker. So with that, we proceed to the expert speaker. Our expert speaker for the day is Dr. Susmita Bhattacharjee, founder of Pushan Renewable Energy Pvt. Limited. Dr. Susmita holds a PhD in polymer science from IIT Kharagpur and a master's in chemistry. She is passionate about making a difference and wants to touch the lives of people. Susmita loves to bring technology to the masses for improving quality of life. While working in the Netherlands, Susmita conceived the idea of a social enterprise for providing clean energy solutions to millions of women in India who have very poor access to energy. She founded Pushan in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. With that, over to Dr. Susmita.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to be able to, speak in this forum. This is really an honor. And I'll be talking about renewable energy, which is my passion. And I hope that all the attendees, I'll be able to tell a little bit about this renewable energy in this session so that it generates interest in the people and people take up this as a business opportunity. So I will be just covering it's a vast topic. However, I will be just touching base on certain areas that can be, interesting for us and interesting for new entrepreneurs to think about new ideas. So
Susmita ji, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you. Is
Yes.
there by chance another instrument? You have logged through 2 instruments because there's some noise. I thought before you start, we could just try and sort it out. There is some sort of a...
Should I move my phone? Is that?
Yes, a little bit if possible.
And the phone, I have kept it in mute. That should not.
No, but that creates noise. So
Okay,
it will be better for some time you keep it a little away.
Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yeah, better.
Or are you
better.
still?
Yes,
Better.
better, much better. Okay.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to what are renewable energy, So when we talk about renewable energy, are you still hearing something? Is it still?
Yeah, a little bit is there, Susmita ji.
But is it from me? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
When you start speaking only, it comes.
It comes. But
Yeah.
I don't have any other.
Maybe if you can be a little away from the mic, let us just see if it is there.
Okay,
Otherwise, please
okay.
continue. It's not that much now. Yeah. Thank you.
So what are the renewable energy? When we talk about renewable energy, it's solar energy, wind, hydro, geothermal, biomass, biofuel. There is also tidal power, wave power. So these are the general, sources of renewable energy. So out of which we will say that one can see wind and solar very much, and also to some extent biomass. The hydro we see very much in a very large hydro. So large hydro is not considered a renewable, fully renewable. So when we talk about renewable energy in hydro, it is small, micro, mini, or pico hydro. Very small hydros are considered exclusively renewable. So if we think about our global consumption, you can see that solar energy, what we get on our Earth is several folds. It's the most abundant renewable energy that we get, and compared to our consumption. So I will now focus more on the solar energy part out of all the renewables that we have talked. So because of this abundance, and I will also talk about the technology later. So the slowly last 10, 15 years, solar has picked up as a viable option for our energy needs. And installations have started taking place. And you can see that globally, there is now around 800 gigawatt of installation. And comparatively, I have selected some region and countries to give you a perspective that how the installation country-wise and region-wise has taken place. And India in last 5 to 6 years have taken a place in the global, say, chart, where there is a meaningful amount of installation which can be compared with other countries. And if we talk about solar energy, we can use solar energy directly in many, by using the different source of solar energy. Within the solar energy, we can use the solar heat as an energy source. We can use solar light as an energy source, and we can concentrate the solar light to focus on a point and generate heat as an energy source. And most important of this is all the solar energy, they allow us to do decentralized generation, which is a very important advantage that we have with solar energy. Because any power plant, if we conventional power plant, if we see, they are huge, very large capital intensive project. And they are also, the operation is also very, it's very demanding in terms of, say, temperature, in terms of the use of water, in terms of, it's a centralized production, and we cannot do it in any small scale. Whereas solar energy offers the production of electricity or production of energy in other form in a very small scale in a localized area. So that's one of the most important advantage of solar energy for application. And you can see that people might recognize these devices, which we can use in our household, as well as can be in larger size, can be, or larger scaled up form, can be used in industrial application. So one is, of course, the cooking, and it can be from a small box cooker for a family or a small parabolic cooker for a family, to large scale, cooking, for example, in Shirdi, in Tirupati, in Mount Abu, at Brahmakumaris. There are these large solar cookers where food is being cooked with solar for thousands of people daily. So this is something, again, you can see it can be for a small family and it can be for a large institution. So this is the advantage that solar technology provides us. So there are solar dryers, which can be used for a small family again for drying some fruits, vegetable, flowers, and it can be also used in food processing industry. Similarly, solar water heater also is an example which we can use every day in our house and get hot water 24/7 for 365 days without using electricity, and can be also used in industry as a process heat generator. So these are the applications. They can be scaled up in size and also scaled down depending upon the requirement, depending upon the area where the business can be started. And now I will talk about the most abundantly used, which is the most used solar technology, which is solar photovoltaics, which is for generating electricity. Here we are using the light energy of the sun, which I had described in my previous slide, to convert it into electricity. And again, I want to stress again on the decentralization, the capability of the ability to generate in a decentralized way. So I can have a power plant which is only generating electricity to power one light. So that's a small power plant that generates electricity for one light. And it can be a megawatt scale power plant, in size, generation size comparable to any of the conventional power plants in megawatt scale. So there are possibilities from, there are business opportunities from this one light power plant to megawatt scale power plant when you are thinking of businesses. So just to give an idea about, today we can go 100% solar in terms of our own consumption, because in India, 70% of electricity is produced from coal. So for example, if we take a 3 BHK house, which has, regular appliances like AC, refrigerator, washing machine, and other domestic appliances, an average monthly electricity consumption could be around 500 units. So if we, with our coal-fired thermal power plant, when we use 1 unit of grid electricity, we are emitting 820 grams of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So with 500 units per month, yearly we are emitting almost 5,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So if we install a 5 kilowatt rooftop power plant, it will cost around 3 lakh rupees. And that will be equivalent to planting 200 trees 10 years ago, which has grown into a size that is now capable of absorbing 5,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide a year. So even as an individual basis, if we are thinking of using renewable energy, it's something that we all should do, because it is really helping the environment. And in terms of cost, this is something like it's a part of your house, so it's adding something to your house. And normally the international convention is that these plants will last for 25 years. In fact, it will still generate after 25 years, but there is an international convention that after that it will be taken out of the service. So, so there is also financial benefit when somebody installs, because you get your electricity bill reduces. So there is a return on investment, which is very secure and in fact better than any fixed deposit or any other conventional source of safe investments. So if I now talk about, within the photovoltaics, there are also many opportunities, in terms of technology and in terms of solutions and products one can see. So one is this, which is nowadays called solar rooftop, which is grid connected, net metered, which can be with and without storage. There are also very large scale ground mounted solar power plants, which are in megawatt scale. Then there is this off-grid or hybrid solar power plants, which will always have a battery storage. And then there are DC systems where, because solar produces DC electricity. So there are DC systems, and then together with DC appliances. So in fact, that is the most efficient way of using solar, because we are not losing any while converting DC electricity to AC electricity. So if we think of the components that goes in a solar PV system, say we talk about the grid connected. So we have solar panel mounting structure. There is a solar grid tie inverter. Then there are cables, there are various protection devices, and then net meter, which is a bidirectional meter where one can it can measure the electricity that is coming from the grid and what from house when somebody is feeding electricity into the grid. So it can measure from both sides. And then in an off-grid system, there will be, of course, the solar panel, most of the solar panel, the mounting structure. And instead of the grid tie inverter, it will have solar PCU and the solar battery for storage. And in DC power, again, there will be no inverter because we are not converting the electricity from DC to AC. So there will be a solar charge controller and then DC appliances. Together with solar battery and solar panel mounting structure. So these are the general components of a solar PV system. So now if we talk about that, what are the business opportunities that exist with renewable energy? So of course, one can operate in this small hydro section, which is mainly small, mini, micro, and pico hydro. It really is good for hilly areas with small streams. Then also wind in smaller size, like 1 kilowatt size. Then there can be biomass, briquette, and efficient cook stove manufacturing. There are biofuel and solar energy, of course. So when we talk about solar energy, the manufacturing parts are really very, I think, is it me? Nidhi-ji, is it me or?
Karthik, please mute everyone except expert.
I think Samta Bedji is, yes. So when you talk about the manufacturing, there are very large capital intensive projects. So in terms of, within 1 crore, we can think of this biomass, briquette, and cook stove, and solar cooker. And I will also talk later about, say, solar street lights. In solar energy, to start with, one can be an installer, a distributor of a major manufacturer, or a dealer of a major manufacturer, integrator. And there is another thing which I feel will come up with time, is providing technical maintenance service. Because as the number of installation increase, I mean, even now there is a lot of demand of this technical maintenance, although this has not set up very well right now, but there is a demand already happening and this is going to grow. So, technical maintenance of the existing system, that is something also going to come up as a new business opportunity. So these are the direct business opportunity, but I'd like to also talk about using renewable energy in other business to improve productivity, to improve reliability in production. That is also very important. So especially in very small businesses and rural and remote areas, and sometimes even in urban areas. So I will be talking about a business in poultry, where the equipment is powered by solar. And because it is powered by solar, one is getting a very good quality, steady electricity There is no interruption. The machine is not disturbed by the voltage fluctuation or or surge that is coming out of the grid electricity. So as a result, one can have a very consistently, the machine can run. As a result, the production can be as per planning and in the right quality. So this can be also for a tailoring center, for example, for hydroponics, the entire system management can be on solar. That way you can always ensure that the system is running properly. There will be new businesses on battery charging, which will come up, and with various agri-processing units. You know, when they are powered with solar, your production, production quality as well as consistency definitely increases. And some of them cannot be even started with I will give the example of poultry. It cannot be even started with a grid electricity. Even in urban areas, there is one needs Kusumji, can she be? Yeah. So there are certain applications where even our existing grid quality in urban area is not good enough to start the work. And if you look at the target, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has targeted 100 gigawatt by 2022, and till date 40 gigawatt has been installed. So this just tells the capacity, the room this area has for new businesses, new installations. So I'd just like to touch that what we do. We bring innovative solar energy solutions to rural women for supplementing income generation, or rather I'd like to say that they are doing their existing work, but using a solar powered equipment, they can start a new livelihood activity, which will give them additional income without disturbing their existing work that they're doing. So we create new energy solutions mainly based on solar, and we look into their needs, we look into the local practices and resources, and then design a new system that will that they can use for the livelihood activity. And we have done systems in like agri-processing machines, in pottery, in small businesses, like it could be as simple as a light in a shop, you know, that makes a huge difference. You know, in the evening when your shop is lighted, you get more customer. So, or a photocopy shop in a village. And in poultry, of course, we have done in horticulture, in cooking, you know, a tiffin center with a solar cooker and improved cook stove. In dairy, in clothing, a tailoring business, or in handloom, not the loom, but we have provided, for example, lights to aid the handloom work. So this is just to give you an idea that where, you know, solar energy, renewable energy can help small businesses by providing the steady, secured power that is required to do the business. So it's just, okay, our achievements, there are a few highlights. I will not go into that, but let's go into more about, I'd like to talk about our journey as an entrepreneur. So we call ourselves, we are a for-profit social enterprise. We registered as a private limited company in January 2012 as a renewable energy, and we work mainly in solar energy. We work in rural as well as urban areas. And we do solar PV system mainly for home, office, and factory, and also solar power system. That is the most interesting part, which we like, is that renewable energy system for helping livelihood, helping income generation. And for us, profit is social plus financial. So some of the preparation and housekeeping work that I feel is necessary, you know, when we start something, start a new business. So it is like, first we need to identify the market. And we are providing, we are meeting that need by providing a service or a product. And we have to do a research, that what exists already, where is the market where we are going to sell, and what is the market trend. And so this homework we have to do before we start. And of course, then there is the formation of company, and you have to file for GST, PAN number. And one thing I'd like to really stress, that we have to put our accounting process in place right from the beginning, so that even if it costs, we should not think about the cost, but that process should be there, and with discipline, it has to be followed. So if you are starting small as an MSME, of course, the registration and registration with Startup India, and for capital, there is Stand Up India that we are today in this platform. And of course, the most important thing is the team, that we have to have a team that will together help us to reach our ambition, reach our goal. So here I'd like to now give an example of how, solar loan plus working capital loan for a solar powered specialty poultry business. So there are, the mainstream poultry is broiler poultry, which is very much like our electricity supply chain system. It is centralized chick hatching and then chick distribution, where people are doing contract farming or even individually. And there is also a market exists. So you can link to that market. So this is again like our electricity generation, centralized generation and then transmission. So centralized hatching and then distribution of chicks. But however, for specialty poultry, this supply chain doesn't exist. And specialty poultry is a high margin business. So when we are working in the areas in Madhya Pradesh, where in the tribal family, this is a traditional practice of keeping a small backyard poultry. So this is something, this is a business with high margin. That's an opportunity in that area. So however, the existing electricity, so we need we need the hatching system. We need the device for hatching. So we need incubator. And with the existing grid electricity, the incubator cannot be run, because even if there is a power cut of 10 minutes, a 21-day cycle can be destroyed. Or if there is a power cut for a few hours, a whole batch of chicks can die, because they need, right after they come out of the incubator, they need heat and light. And even in urban areas or these large commercial hatcheries, they have a standby DG set, and having that standby DG set is not a very viable option in terms of environment, in terms of its maintenance cost and interruptions. So solar really provides this facility that you can start this incubation. And again, it is the decentralized approach, because like solar technology offers this decentralized benefit. Again, in terms of in business also, when we have more empowerment at decentralized level, I think it becomes stronger. Because when somebody is buying chicks, you are always dependent upon the chick supplier for your business. And when you are producing your own chicks from a parent stock that you keep, so you can really have a full control of your business. So a business plan, I'm just showing as an example, where there is 16 lakhs of loan, out of which 9.5 lakhs is for the incubator, brooder, and lights for the poultry shed. There is also the cost of the small poultry shed, and the working capital is for the feed, vaccination, and marketing. So loan tenure, so with the 18 months of moratorium and 5 years of loan, so around 33,000 is the EMI. So the specialty chicken, they sell at a higher price. And although there is 4 months it takes to grow to that level, And you can see that, by paying even after, so first 6 months is a waiting period because it takes 4 months and then 21 days in the incubator. So we are taking it. So then later on with the money, they can make a bigger share. And then from 19 months onward, they start paying the EMI. So even after paying the EMI, there is enough money as a profit for the entrepreneur. And after the repayment of the loan, of course, the whole amount is their profit. So this is this type of work we have done. And this is a very nice business, especially for women entrepreneurs in rural area, particularly. The second example I want to bring is manufacturing or assembling solar street lights with a loan of 1 crore, where you can have various machineries, which will be including, making the LED lamps, the lamp fixtures, and assembling it together, and also working capital. Here again, say I have taken the average street light selling price as 15,000. And if you are able to, so the plan has to be that, we can sell at least 300 solar street lights, and then there will be again a profit, after full repayment, of course it is. So in 5 years, once the full loan is repaid, that the entire amount can be a profit. So these are just examples to show that how, of course, there is a lot of opportunities in the renewable energy sector. And there are a lot of business ideas that can be envisioned in this area for new entrepreneurs. And I'd like to say that normally, as an entrepreneur, that normally when we go for meetings or we read books, you always hear about very successful entrepreneurs, that they started, they grew to this percentage year on year, and now they are this big, this is their turnover. But I feel that those are only few, because there are many people who are, in between there, because every entrepreneur has a very special journey, which is her or his own. And we should not always compare, because that makes us unhappy. So as long as we are passionate, we are strong, determined, and we're not afraid of failure. Because even what I have talked today, that when somebody is having an idea and all the boxes are not clicked, and still you are passionate, I think one should go for it, and you will achieve them on the way, because if there is a gap, that will be filled. So it is not that one has to complete the whole homework before you can start. So I think it's a good time to start, and renewable energy offers a lot of opportunities. So with this, I'd like to conclude. So are there questions?
If I may ask a question, Sangeeta? Yeah. So, Susmita ji, just a simple question I wanted to ask you, that what type of challenges you faced when you started? This is a very unique and unusual field for women entrepreneurs. So if in short, you could just tell us that.
Well, the challenge is continuous. It's not just when I started. Of course, for me, the challenge was, even to start, because working in the rural areas, sometimes you may think that, for me, the challenge was, for example, the roads were so bad that the tire would be punctured, one would not think, and that would take a lot of my time. But also with the government policies, I would say sometimes the perception of the people, and solar in a way is still, it's a one-time cost, and that is a challenge. But otherwise, there have been a lot of government policies which are favorable as well. And with people, they hear about solar, but something still it is new, so that was, we had to do a lot of awareness program, and we're still doing. So the awareness program is very important that we had to do. And we're still, it's still, because now some people know solar, but still there are a lot more information which is required.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susmita ji. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Yes. Any more questions? Any participants? If there are any more questions, Dr. Susmita would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, you could put them in the chat box and they'll be taken up later. Okay. I guess then we'll proceed further. Once again, I'd like to request all the participants to keep their phones on mute in order to ensure the smooth flow of the webinar. Because even during Dr. Bhattacharjee's time, we had to request some people to mute. So kindly make sure that your phones are on mute. I'd like to now request Mr. Akhilesh Trivedi, Global Mentor and Strategist, to give us his expert views. A short introduction about Akhilesh Trivedi ji. He is Global Mentor and Strategist, Entrepreneurship and Startup Ecosystem. He's the founder and CEO of StartupCheers.com and the CEO of Anand Incubation Center. He has an impeccable portfolio as global mentor and strategist for startups and entrepreneurship ecosystem development, blend with technology savvy, knowledge base, and a strong entrepreneurial acumen. With that, I request Dr. Akhilesh to please take the webinar forward. Dr. Akhilesh.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. Thanks for any introduction. It's been highly privileged every time to be the part of this prestigious platform organized by COWE in association with SIDBI. And I always feel honored that I got an opportunity, wonderful opportunity, to again participate as a speaker on this grand finale. I will take this opportunity again to encash with one of my very brief and crispy presentation in terms of deliberating a couple of concepts and focus areas for any good business venture or startup should look forward to, especially in field of renewable energy. So when we talk about any business venture or maybe anyone who starts as an individual, as Dr. Susmita was explaining her journey, highly inspiring journey, it's more of actually more as good as like in a startup. But if you want to define something in a couple of words, what exactly Dr. Susmita or maybe many entrepreneurs, youngsters are actually good looking as a startup, the two words, the two parameters you can say that define the entire definition. One is innovation and disruption. So until unless in any of their positioning or even product marketing or even understanding the needs, as you've seen in the previous presentation, there is an innovation and there is a disruption. The overall business venture cannot bring that kind of impact. So let me share the fundamental, the core concepts in next 10 to 12 minutes. I will drive through a couple of good case studies, real-time, entrepreneur stories to just bring your attention to that particular topic. Any business venture or startup is looking forward to a couple of, parameters, a couple of, dynamics in growth, achievement, milestones, and how it can back or it can contribute back to society and nation. At one point of, junction, it's very difficult to really choose the right paths. All things do, and all parameters do, they keep fighting with each other. And the bottom line is again to be a sustainable model. So let me share how we can go ahead. For any small business, for any concept, or for any startup idea, for any good business, if I ask you in audience again, what do you think your business idea or your business concept is going to create an impact? And I'm sure most of you will give this answer. Any small business idea here is to do some great job, do something different or do something great. And I'm sure this is something very normal and very noble thought, and it should be, in fact. So let me tell you what are the 3 ingredients to make this small business idea as a great idea. To be in startup or an entrepreneur, most important thing to consider, whatever we start as a concept or an idea, there are three ingredients should always follow. The very first thing, it should solve some problem. There should be a problem solving attitude and acumen in that particular idea. Until unless we are not able to realize a challenge or a problem or not giving a solution, this does not actually going to be a workable solution altogether. So most importantly, there should be a problem solving in business idea. Second thing, with this problem solving, and again looking at the business dynamics, there should be a direct or indirect social impact. The social impact is nothing but contribution or contributing back to the society, to your region, could be your hometown, could be your state, nation, and maybe later on, you never know, it can be a global footprint. So problem solving, creating social impact is going to, and disruption is nothing but bring change in people's life. These three ingredients are most important to really look forward a successful model of any entrepreneur to start with a startup or even entrepreneurship. So let me share a beautiful, inspiring story from the Rajasthan, how a young lady, how a young women entrepreneur looking at these three parameters or criteria change million people's life. I'm sure right now in front of your screen, most of you are not able to make out what exactly the screen is. It's purely dark. It's more or less darkness, more or less blackout. This screen or this scenario, it's somewhere from a rural village, maybe a couple of years back, 2016, 2017. The time, 7:30 or 8 p.m., people look forward, something should happen in their life. Ray of hope. They always believe that in that particular rural areas, somebody someday, somewhere will bring light to their life, their household, and in their overall environment. With that hope, one young entrepreneur who studied in US came back to her root in Rajasthan and started making some sort of attitude building. Attitude building was to create a community, to create some sort of cohesiveness among the rural ladies. They started distributing solar driven lamps, solar batteries, and started connecting different household together. One initiative from one lady from one household started connecting as a chain reaction to different families in that particular rural areas. And definitely, yes, in a couple of months in a year, the ray of hope actually came through young entrepreneur Jeta Shah. Jeta studied in US, came back to Rajasthan and realized that there's a big problem of having electricity provisioning in rural areas. Most of the rural areas, they are dependent on kerosene lamps or maybe some inflammable fuel. It was very hazardous. There was some incident of having the fire in Hurt or Husky downstreams where kerosene lamps could be the disasters. Realizing this, she started distributing very low cost economic lamps through her initiative called Frontier Markets. So she was in process of building an army of rural women influencers. Frontier Market started distributing very economic, affordable lamps, torch, battery-driven chargers for their mobile, and again created initiative among the women in that particular rural area to distribute further next door. And that's what she talked about, Solar Sahelis. Solar Sahelis was an initiative where one particular female or lady, from one family used to distribute, connect the next family, and look forward to see an impact on that. He did lot many campaigns, training camps. He did lot many, different convincing, forums to make people aware how this small initiative can change and enlightening their life. Ladies being educated or even uneducated, most of them joined their initiative. Most of them actually be the part of that particular great, challenging scenario. Frontier markets not only distributed, they also trained, they also created a business model. They also built up a self-reliance among these families, especially in ladies, to earn and create some validation to their family. Now the kids are actually happy to see a solar lamp and do some good job on education. Frontier markets started somewhere a couple of years back in 2011. It has already created a business of 16 to 17 crores. And what Ajita says, we are driving change, creating impact, making money and posting profits. Today, more than 5,000 solar Sahelis, which are again a community of ladies in rural areas, are connected. They are not simply like salesmen or saleswomen. They are actually market connectors. They are the service providers, and really they are the game changers. The impact has created more than 5 lakh households, impacting and building that change in more than 3.1 million lives. By next 2 years, he has a vision of connecting more than 20,000 solar Sahelis and more than 5 billion of lives in the next couple of years. That one small initiative, a ray of hope, a ray of light, could really bring a big change. Let me share 90 minutes of impactful video from the real beneficiary of that particular initiative by Ajita Shah. And she's gonna talk about how the life of that particular village, or maybe life of that particular family has really taken a change. Let me try in case I can play this video.
मेरा नाम है हंसा चौधरी और मैं गांव इसरावाल से राजस्थान में हूँ। मैं आज फ्रंटियर मार्केट की सोलर सहेली हूँ। तो इस सरल जीवन शैली कार्यक्रम का मतलब है कि हर गांव में हर महिला हो, चाहे पढ़ी हो चाहे अनपढ़ हो, उसको हम साथ लेकर कदम से कदम मिला के सौर ऊर्जा का प्रचार कर अपने गांव को विकसित करें। फ्रंटियर मार्केट के से पहले मैंने कैलाश जी के पास में एक टीम आई थी, तो हमने बता दिया भाई नुकसान तो चिमनी से तो सांस लेने में तकलीफ होती है, आंखें की रोशनी चली जाती है, अगर बच्चा कहीं फट रहा है, कोई पास में लैंप को चिमनी रखे तो हाथ पैर से गिर भी जा सकती थी, वो तो आग लग जाती थी। उन्होंने बताया ये नैनो रक्षा के बारे में बताया और पूरी औरतें उड़ के खुश हो गए कि हमारे जीवन में कुछ करने के लिए आई तो है कोई टीम, तो हम उसको खरीद लिए फिर और मैं भी उसमें जुड़ गई। मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स में ऐसे बेचती हूँ तो मीटिंगों में ज्यादातर 10 से 20 औरतें इकट्ठी होती थी। हाँ, तो ये रक्षक है और ये देखो तो इसको।
Yes, I hope the audio was working on that.
Yes, we could hear.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
in rural, same area, 2022, 8 p.m., the scenario is this. It is not the dark. It is something enlightened in their life. It is something which can really bring change in their thought process, in their attitude, and made these women among the rural areas educated or even illiterate or uneducated to earn something on their own. And that's what the self-initiative done by Ajita Shah. What she has done it, she has actually done it something different in altogether as a challenge. And that's what the core essence of any good startup, to do something different. To look at your business model, as Dr. Susmita was talking about, the two parameters to be followed throughout the journey. One, to keep this business as a sustainable business, and more importantly, to always look at the scale, how big you can scale. So started from a very basic, rural areas, and she actually went through altogether entire, state. And maybe in Pan India, she has a vision of connecting more than 35 million people together. Always look at the idea in three, basic terminologies. How good the technology it is. It should be always feasible. Business should be viable, affordable, and should have a desire to buy. There should be a problem to be addressed. There should be a challenge on which a solution is to be driven. So that all we call it in management terms, the design thinking. Any of the startup from any of the concept or any of the idea, these three things are most important to really bring success on your plan. We talk about the practical terminologies. Understanding your target market, your target audience is very much important. Never think that your product anybody will buy or anybody will look forward to it. It's always demographic segregation of your target audience, and we need to understand transforming this idea into a scalable and sustainable model. There should be some differentiation, some entry barriers in your idea. That we call it unique selling proposition. USP and differentiate is very much important to bring that sustainability and scalability to your business. Right timing, correct marketing, and most important is to again, focus on this particular session. Always draft optimization of funds and loan. Most of the startups or business ventures, they prepare project report based on estimations or even projections. And that's a good part. But what about the optimization of funds? If you're availing, say, 10 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs, or even 1 crore, how you are going to create ROI, return on investment on these funds, so that not only repay, but again, you actually look at the kind of profitability and break even given time. That we call it optimization of funds. So please prepare very clearly bottom line in your project report, not only projection, but how you are going to utilize these funds to make it as a asset. That we call it optimization of funds and loan. Above all, unless we have someone to navigate our ideas, unless we have someone who can tell you what not to do is very important. To do, we already know. It's my idea, my baby. I know how to drive it further. I know all the things which to be done. But why and how people burn their fingers when they do not know what not to do? Mentor or a compass or a navigator gives you that insight and direction of making your business successful by pointing out what actually not to do. His experience, his complementary, industry connect, or could be any challenge which you are facing that he can answer and give you a solution, should be always strategy number one. So always engage your mentor from the day one, and believe that mentorship is not an employment, it's an engagement. Engage mentor to see how you can actually achieve your milestone being a visionary entrepreneur. Believe in yourself, execute your ideas. As most of the entrepreneurs, including Dr. Susmita said, passion, challenges, bottlenecks will be always part of life. But only one single winning mantra on this slide is, even though you have missed a couple of previous slides, it doesn't matter. If you just follow this slide, and if you simply follow this slide, everything has been done in last couple of slides. So this slide is most important. The success mantra for your life, for your business, for your entrepreneurship is very simple. Never ever give up. This is what the success mantra. The rest is all your passion, your team, your idea, which can create an impact, and I'm sure you will become a change maker very shortly someday. Thanks for your kind patience listening this particular presentation and giving me this opportunity. Thanks to Rajasthan COWE chapter, Umaji, especially Nidhi ji and Shivani ji, to be part of this grand finale and make myself as a, a sense of achievement where I can contribute to some extent in this mission. Thank you very much. And I wish good luck all of the women entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Akhilesh ji, for all those nuggets of very valuable information, which I'm sure will stand us all in very good stead. Any questions are most welcome. Akhilesh ji would-
Sangeeta, I think we can take it forward and take the questions after the motivational speaker is done.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
we are little stretched for time now.
Okay. Now we have a video introducing our motivational speaker, Dr. I. Mohan Sundari. May we have the video, please?
शार्प इलेक्ट्रोड्स की स्थापना 1969 में के रामास्वामी और के जगन्नाथ ने की। तब कंपनी की कुल पूंजी 25,000 रुपए थी और इसमें 2 कर्मचारी काम करते थे। उस समय इस वर्कशॉप में टूल्स कटिंग का काम किया जाता था। के जगन्नाथ ने अपनी मेहनत और लगन से एक बड़े उद्योग की नींव रखी।
I would now like to invite Dr. I. Mohan Sundari, Managing Director of Sharp Electrodes Private Limited and KG Sharp's Trendies, to motivate us to start our businesses. A little bit about ma'am. Dr. J. Mohan Sundari hails from Kalapati village. She started her career as a lecturer, and then in 1992, she moved from teaching to develop her entrepreneur skills, plunging into business. And there she founded KG Sharp Trendies and revolutionized the concept of the water pump from a heavy duty industrial product to a domestic appliance, which could be carried easily even by a woman. Her technology transformation with perfection and precision created many a pioneering innovation in the pump industry, and she has been awarded with a number of prestigious awards. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all. First of all, thank you, Sangeeta ji, for the wonderful introduction, and nice to be here, one among all the prestigious ladies. I'm so privileged, and I'm very happy. So many Shaktis are there. This, the power of Shakti has been celebrated since thousands of years in the Indian tradition. Shakti is the power of women, the power to create, implement, and move with change. It is relentless, empowering, adding meaning and value to living. Women empowerment is all about celebrating the power to be, the power to do, the power to change, simply powering the self to success amidst the challenges of today's world. So we are all the Shakti, 3 Shakti. Anybody that in the Indian culture tradition, we are celebrating Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, the women, all the 3 women, 3 Shaktis to create. One should have all the 3 energies balanced. Only then we can be successful. A woman's world today is full of challenges, especially in the field of business, more so if she is an entrepreneur. The challenges are manifold. To survive in a competitive business environment, in a way, we have to keep on innovating, and we have to retain our workforce, and then we have to manufacture, and we have to maintain the quality, and we have to market it, and we have to satisfy the customers, and we have to keep all the stakeholders happy, make profits, and to do this consistently, the list is endless. But a woman can do everything. A woman can achieve each and everything. Woman can handle all these things with ease. And this is what is women empowerment is all about. And in this context, I would like to share with you the aspects that which contributed what I am today. And first of all, in starting the business, the business was there. All of a sudden, one day I was left out. I lost my husband. And though I had a training by my husband and I was teaching in the college before the time, from the simple government college, government school student, later moved to the college. And then I was teaching physics to the Sarda college and then engineering college for about 14 years. Then I joined with my husband in the business, in the pump, sharp mini monoblock pump, which was revolutionized in the pump industry in the whole world, weighing only 10 kilo. Previously, it was 30 kilo pump, and this pump was revolutionized in India, and that is the first pump was sold by me to my colleague in CIT, and these pumps were easily carried by the women, so that it is called, we named it as trendy, sharp trendies. And then first of all, we get to carry away with so many other people's opinion, that first of all, we should have self-confidence. When all the other people have wrote away that this business will close down, I have the confidence. We should have the self-confidence. If we have self-confidence, then we can move through in any situation and come out successfully. And also the belief in the power within, the hidden power within us. We have to have the belief within the power. And also we have to have the strength of moving together. We have to be win-win situation, taking care of the distributor, dealer, everything we have to, and the end of the customers, the delightness we have to take care. And learning, it is a continuous learning. Not one day, we have to keep on running to remain in the same position. So we have to keep on learning in each and whenever possible, wherever possible, we have to attend and enrich our knowledge in the means of product and improvement, and continuous innovation is needed. And we have to have the commitment to quality. No shortcut method for quality. Quality alone will be possible. Move that. Clarity of that. We have to take, business is nothing but the decisions on the slides. We have to have the clarity of thought in the business. What we take decision, the business is nothing but the business decisions. So we to have that clarity, we should be in the meditative mode. We should have the clear mind. In that time, if we take the decision, then the success will be ours. For that, we start the company in the morning with the prayer, so which helps to have that clear mind. And daily I give them some motivational speech about the things, and I have trained all our employees for the CNC machines, and all our employees, girls are trained by, tribal girls are trained to operate CNC machines, which is not at all possible. And in the business, we have to set a goal, and we have to keep working towards the goal. Next. We have to have the confidence with us, both self and others. That only will have good result. And always teamwork doubles the success. Strength of moving together and win-win situation. And we should be ready, any business person should be ready to break the boundaries and come to the present scenario. We have to have the power within and the power of now. Today is worth 2 tomorrows. And today's world is highly competitive. We have to keep running forever. And always the product, if money is paid, that will be forgotten. but always will be quality which remains forever. Our pumps are working for more than 30 years and still it is in the good condition because I never ever compromise on the quality. And there is no shortcut method for success. And one should have the 4 A's to be successful in business or in personal life. And one is the awareness. We should be aware of what is going around and also what is having in the market, what changes are coming. We have to keep on implementing that the present situation accordingly. All of a sudden COVID came, so we should be aware of the situation and immediately we should pay attention to change to the situation. And always whatever may be the situation, we should be able to adaptability should be there. That of course COVID has taught us that adaptability. When there is no personal thing, we are able to do all the Zoom webinars, each and everybody is connected, we are able to connect. And yes, I can do it, that positive attitude. Suppose if somebody is giving, say, some 10 compliments, and if somebody says only one negative compliment, then we think continuously about that negativity and our mind thinks about that negativity and we make it to happen. It is not because of that attitude of, yes, positive attitude. If we start with the positive affirmation in the morning, that will give you the almost half the success. And always we have to live with the 3 E's, that energy, enthusiasm and empathy. And we have to keep focusing on our energy. If energy is very high, then because everybody is having only 24 hours, whereas even small child says, I am stressed out because lack of time. Why lack of time? Because for Harvard's business study shows that the energy is infinite, only that time is only finite, because only everybody is having only 24 hours, whereas the energy within us is infinite. So by increasing our energy, we can make it possible to do whatever we can within that time limit. So to increase the energy, there are 4 sources of energy we have to always keep in mind, because we ladies sometimes we forget about our health issues and other things. We have to take care of our food, we have to take care of our sleep, and also breath and meditation. These are the 4 sources of energy, and we give importance to all the others. Sometimes we forget ourselves. So always keep in mind the 4 sources of energy, which will give you enough energy. When the energy level is high, you can accomplish whatever you wanted to do within the limited time. So that is very, very important. So live with the 3 E's, energy, enthusiasm. If somebody is enthusiastic, automatically it holds no. So we have to be enthusiastic and always be empathy. That empathy is very much important, because, and also we are having that ABC, I will say the ABC of life for the success of the direction of the happy life, that awareness nurtures the intellect, and belongingness nurtures the heart, and the commitment nurtures the life. In the business, we need to have all the 3, and the belongingness, that we are all belong to each other. If that concern is there, then we will take care of everything, and it is like our family, extended family. That is the reason why we start the day with prayer, and we are praying together, and we are also eating together lunch with healthy lunch and sattvic food, and then belongingness, then commitment. Always commitment to the quality, commitment to the customer, commitment to the time. Whatever is the commitment we have, come what may, we have to keep up our commitment to remain in the market forever. if we are able to give so far, I'm in the export market for more than 95% of our welding electrodes are exported, and that are most of them are ladies who are working, and the quality is our quality speaks. I didn't have any marketing department because our product speaks in the market and gets many more orders. So we have to keep focusing, and that commitment we should have, never ever compromised in our commitment to the quality. Or more than 30-40 years, customers are still with us. That is because of our commitment to quality, timely delivery, everything. So if I give a word, they say, give me the word, give me the date. We will come, however, whatever may be the price, I will give the order. That is what the situation. But initially they have all given up. They all were talking very bad that what I know, all of a sudden I cannot, this business will go like that. But all those things, when the negative comment comes, you don't listen, you just be positive. You mentally, I used to say, cancel, cancel, cancel. And I was not at all acting anything. I was acting whatever is need to be done. I never ever reacted to the negative comments. Just move away from that negative people, negative comments. Always be positive. Come what may, I will not give up. Akhilesh ji was mentor, gave very good points, which I am also following. I am so passionate with our product, with the quality. Even if something goes wrong, some loss occurs, I will never give it from the quality. That is, I am so passionate about the quality. And also, we have to take the whole people along with us. And our intuitive power, whatever gut feeling says, if we take the decision as per our intuition, that is 100% successful. Logically, if we think and take the decision that has gone wrong, in my case, so many situations I have come across. So we all ladies, we have to be strong inside, and then we have to spread the happiness all around. We have multitasking capacity is there within us, because all the powers are within us. We can do anything and everything if we follow this. And I'm sure success is ours, and we can prove. And one more thing, the ladies, we have to take care of health. When health is absent, wisdom cannot reveal itself, and art cannot manifest. So first priority, health is our wealth. And if we have to move forward, arise awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This is my close to my heart. So a daily morning, I used to read, all power is within you, you can do anything and everything. I used to tell myself, and always our mind is going past and future, never in the present. So we have to be in the present moment when we are taking decision. If we go back to past, we will regret, anger, all those things. And if we think of our future, mostly it will be fear, anxiety, doubt, all those things. So we have to be in the present moment before taking any decision. If we breathe, do some pranayama, meditation, or just observe your breath for 1 or 2 minutes, then the mind will come to the present moment. And that present moment, if we take the decision, then that is a very good decision, because present is present. That is also gift. That is also gold. That is why they say present moment is like gold. So let us take care of our health first. Let us increase our energy level, and then let us take care of our mind, body, and the emotions and the spiritual line all in one line. In that situation, let us move ahead, and success is ours. Come what may, so many storms and all the other things will come in life, because business is always ups and downs. When it goes up or down, we have to be in a stable situation. For this and all, I'm able to be stable because of the spiritual practices I'm doing. So we can spend some time with us, just observing our breath. We can come to the present moment. We can have some 10 minutes, 5 minutes before bed. And as soon as we get up in the bed itself, we can just start the day with gratitude for each and everything. We have to be gratitude. That gratitude is the, how much ever gratitude we are having, we will be successful. Our prayer is nothing but morning prayer, just Om chanting and gratitude to 5 elements, and then gratitude to parents, gratitude to Guru, then Kula Devada, Ishta Devada, and thanking the body parts, and then starting the day with some positive affirmations, which that group prayer helps us, because everybody is getting the energy of all the other people. So we start anything, we take the sankalpa in the prayer, and we go ahead. We are able to move through all the challenges and come out successfully. I hope to be something little bit maybe useful to you. I am not able to put the slides properly, I think. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I've learned a lot from Susmita ji and Akhilesh ji and all the others. I know about, from Umaji, I came to know about the COWE very much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Wonderful meeting you all and sharing my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You've been truly inspirational. We are truly motivated with all your mantras of motivation that you've shared with us. I'm afraid we're running short of time, so any questions we will put in the chat box and they'll be answered later. Now we have a short video on the Stand Up India application process.
Karthik?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So here is the loan process, how to apply for the Stand Up India loan application. So for that, first of all, we need to visit the website, that is www.standupmitra.in. After we visit this website, here is a tab with the which is apply here if we require the loan facility. And when we will click here, it will take us to this new registration page. In this, we need to choose the option of new entrepreneur. Actually, as we know, this Stand Up India loan is for the new businesses. So we'll choose this option. Here it will ask for the name, email ID and mobile number in which we will receive the OTP. So after that, we will click on this generate OTP option. After this, the OTP will be received on our mobile phone. This OTP we will enter here and we will verify the same. After we enter the OTP and it is verified, it will show us this, that the registration is successful. Basically, this first step is to register ourselves on the website of udyamimitra.in. After this, this page will open, which will ask for our basic personal details, which will be, few areas will be pre-filled like mobile, email ID and name that we had entered in the previous pages. After that, we'll fill this page and we'll submit it. So we will be registered in the Udyami Mitra portal. Then after that, this page will open, which will give us the option of applying for loan. So for applying for loan, here is this tab, Loan Application Center. We have this another tab, that is Hand-Holding Agency. COWE is the part of this hand-holding agency. There are many agencies that give us the guidance, and if there is any issue, they support us regarding the loan application. So these are the various agencies that are associated with SIDBI for this. For applying for the loan, we'll click on this tab, Loan Application Center. Then this will show us the various kinds of loans that are available under the scheme. So as per our eligibility and terms and conditions, we can apply. And to understand that, we can click on this read more to understand the various loans criteria. After we choose our loan for, like, if I
Sangeeta, move on.
Okay. All right. Next, I'd like to invite a banker, retired Deputy General Manager of Canara Bank, Ms. Sushila K, to give us the banker's perspective on the credit access available to women entrepreneurs under this Stand Up India scheme of the Government of India.
Thank you, Sangeeta Madam. And I thank COWE and Aparna Madam for giving me the opportunity to join this grand finale webinar meeting. And I'm very happy that I came to know about some of the very successful entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs today. Coming to the topic, out of my experience, I want to share my experience or give some suggestions or tips to the budding entrepreneurs. One is now first how to select the bank branch, which bank branch we have to approach. For that, it is always better to approach a bank branch where your accounts are maintained, or the branch nearer to your business unit, place of activity, or the bank which is very active in your area of operation in financing. And next, when you approach any banker, generally the banker's priority is how to get back the money lent. First and foremost idea, the thought comes to manager is then whether I will get back the money given to this entrepreneur. And they will check the credit track record. Nowadays, it is very easy to check the credit record. Earlier, it was a bit difficult. Now, CIBIL is there. Within minutes, you can generate the credit track record. For that, you should be very careful while using your credit cards or personal loans, taking personal loans or loan facilities from private financial institutions. Should be very careful. And next point is whether to repay back the loan, your enterprise should be a successful one. For any enterprise to be successful, both project and person both are important. As a person entrepreneur, you should have complete knowledge about the project you are going to take up and your commitment to the project and your passion and interest in the work. The bank people see all these things. Depending on these only, they will decide to give or not to give loan. Generally, people think that I have submitted credit proposal with all required permissions or project report, but my project is rejected. The thing is, you should be realistic, the project also. You should not select based on that somewhere that type of activity is successful, or some other person is very successful in doing that business, or by seeing the this one in the net. Some I also came across that type of projects. By seeing in the net, people will think that the activity is very successful and I can do that, but it is not like that. You should do your own market survey before starting any active project or any activity. And after doing market survey, depending on your capacity or your personal suitability to the activity or suitability of the activity to your area of operation, based on these things you have to select. And whether market facilities are there for that product which you are going to produce, or you are going to make arrangements for marketing of that product, because producing is only 50%. Next 50% is marketing of the product. that you have to study this marketability of the product also, and make arrangements for the market. And you should see the availability of raw material and other inputs like availability of land, building, electricity, water, and all these things. And this project, if it is scalable, it is very good. You should start in a small scale as a budding entrepreneur, and then go on scaling up the project. If you take care of all these things, and if you do project report, you involve yourself in preparing the project also, you will be able to answer the questions raised by any bank manager or any person for that matter. And you will be able to convince the manager to consider your loan proposal. Generally, what people do is, first they will select the scheme. Under which scheme I have to apply for a loan, or start a business activity or an enterprise. It should not be like that. First, you should select the enterprise or business activity which is suitable to you, and then decide under which scheme it fits. You can avail any subsidy or available or any scheme facilities, but you should select the enterprise first and then go for the facilities available for that. You should study all these aspects before approaching the banker, and answer all the doubts or inhibitions which the persons other side sitting on the other side of the table have. And submit project report, detailed project report with all permissions, necessary permissions or licenses required for that type of activity. Then definitely the projects will be considered. Don't think that because you are a woman, your proposal will get rejected. Because the general opinion among the bankers is ladies are more responsible and more sincere and committed. The only thing is you should give that confidence that you can handle the project, or you are involved, you are not a dummy candidate, you are involved yourself in that project. That confidence, if you can give, your project definitely will get convinced. Either Stand Up India or any other scheme, you will get the loan. And if in this journey, if you face any hurdles, you don't take it as problems, challenge. Take it as challenge and go ahead. Wish you all the best. All budding entrepreneurs, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sushila ji, for sharing such valuable inputs with us. Next, we have a short video introducing the loan beneficiary for today, Ms. Preeti Agarwal.
Thank you, Shushila ji. It was really wonderful. You threw light on some unheard of points till now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Preeti Agarwal is the mother of 2 grown-up boys and a dog, a COWE Life member, ex-Rotarian, and member of a few business and social organizations. She is a fashionpreneur and co-founder and creative director of Morni Fashions. She has 3 brands. ask you to take over. Preeti ji.
Preeti, you are on mute.
Good afternoon, esteemed guests, panelists, and dear friends. I'm honored to be part of this national level AZADI KA AMRIT webinar series finale. I would like to thank COWE and SIDBI to have taken this initiative in favor of women entrepreneurs and guiding them and mentoring them towards financial independence. Stand Up India loan scheme by Government of India for women entrepreneurs is like a catalyst and gives them the ability and confidence to chase their dreams. Keep your hopes up because the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Hi, I'm Preeti Agarwal, fashion entrepreneur. We are into manufacturing of women's wear, healthcare apparels, and hand block print bed linen for both Indian and global market. Since our products fall under different categories, we sell them under different brand names. Mistake India, Disha Dakshin, and DRX5 are our 3 brand names, and we have online stores for all 3 of them. I started my career as a freelancer with an NGO. I've done some prestigious projects with UNICEF in the capacity of being the project manager, did few state-level modules and policy recommendation documents, and have designed and written certain textbooks and training modules as well. I did this for 10 years from 2003 to 13. In August 2013, I became an entrepreneur by accident when I was asked to handle my mom's boutique in her absence. She had started a small production house, but it was in its nascent stage. With time, garment designing became my passion, and I became a full-time entrepreneur. At this time, it was my mom's business, and I was only handling it. With the passage of time, my son, an engineer by education, and now an entrepreneur by profession, wanted to join our industry instead of joining his father's business. My husband has his own business, and now my younger son is working with him. So when my eldest son wanted to join Morni Fashions, we changed the company format and converted the proprietorship firm into a partnership firm. We are now 3 partners in the firm, my mom, me, and my son. My son then flew off to London to study fashion business. We shifted from my mother's garage to the industrial area and now needed funds for capital investment. I didn't want to ask my husband for funds. It was around that time when Ms. Nidhi Toshniwal invited me to attend a COWE meeting. In this meeting, there were officials from SIDBI and SBI SME loans, and they shared government schemes for women entrepreneurs. They also enlightened us about the different loans available. So I met Mr. Pradhan from SBI SME loans after a few days, and he was extremely cooperative and guided us through the entire procedure and the documents required. Before meeting Mr. Pradhan, when we had approached the banks, they wouldn't understand and accept the fact that a proprietorship firm was being converted into a partnership firm. They thought we had some ulterior motives and wanted to cheat the banks by having 2 firms in the same name. They just didn't accept the fact that the proprietorship firm would be closed after the yearly returns were filed. SBI SME loans came as a savior for us. But the problem of the name of the firm was an issue for them as well, because the same name and address were being used in Udyog Aadhaar registration. Banks had not received any case or file like this before. Thankfully for us, SBI was more cooperative than the other banks. They weren't sure if we qualified for Stand Up India scheme or not, but were keen to help. Because even though the company was freshly registered and was eligible for Greenfield Enterprise, and women were the major stakeholders in the company, but the name was old and was already showing in UAN website. With much persistence and meeting different officials and loan departments, we finally succeeded in getting a CC limit for the same amount that we had applied, that is for 20 lakhs. Before approaching for institutional loans, we had taken unsecured loans from private banks, and our CIBIL score was quite impressive. So this came to our advantage and also helped the banks in showing confidence in us. We just heard the banker ma'am talking about the CIBIL score and its importance. So my case, I vouch for that it is always important to have a good CIBIL score to apply for newer and bigger loans. Here I would like to share a funny incident as well. The manager who agreed to process the loan asked me one day to meet my husband in half an hour. All through our interactions for the past few days, he had been thinking that I was a single woman because my husband had never accompanied me to any of the meetings in the bank. I called my husband in front of him, and to his amazement, he was in the bank in 10 minutes only. The banker got assured, smiled at me, nodded, and signed the papers. The CC limit helped us establish our business in the industrial area, where meeting the buyers was little more prestigious and we were part of the industry. Wholesale buyers and brands always visit the factory to have a look at the setup before placing orders. Thus, shifting in the industrial area was very much helpful for us. Though we are still growing and learning, we have created a niche for ourselves and are popular as Morni Madam or Madam Ki Company. And I take pride in sharing that the Stand Up India loan helped us grow. We were initially only manufacturers and were dealing in B2B business model only. We would take orders and make women's wear for brands and wholesalers. But with time, we've diversified our product line and now have 3 brands across various categories. So using the same CC limit, working through the same infrastructure and team, we stepped up the ladder and are still climbing it. The Stand Up India non-collateral loan has been really instrumental in escalating our business multifold times because we applied for the loan in 2019 April and COVID happened in March 2020. So all the businesses were struck, so was ours. But post-lockdown, when business was at a standstill and yet payments had to be made, the COVID package of 20% of the loan amount came as a savior and was really, really helpful. The interest rate for this loan was really less and repayment schedule was after an year of dispersal of the COVID package. 3 months later, another installment of the 25% of COVID package was offered as an additional help for all those who needed it. This last installment was till 31st March 2021. And I'm happy to share that we had settled and closed this loan amount on 10th of March itself, well before the deadline. The rate of interest for our CC limit is 10.25, which is way below the regular market interest rate. And finally, I would like to conclude with a few tips and my personal experience. First of all, always try and use a nationalized bank for your CC limit. Maintain a good CIBIL score, just as the banker ma'am suggested. It always helps in getting bigger loans. Always pay your loans on time, whether they are secured or unsecured. Use your network for every possible help. Always be eager to learn. You never know enough. Each person handles the same situation differently. So be optimistic always and focus on solutions rather than your problems. Appreciate and compliment people. Be there they might be your staff, your vendors, or your suppliers. Keep less staff and promote multitasking. It enhances the skills of people and also helps in cutting the costs. A samosa party now and then is way better than giving monthly raise to the staff. Have systems in place to keep your business hassle-free. And finally, push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti ji. It was a pleasure listening to your success story and all the tips that you gave us. I now request Ms. Aparna Darsi, COWE India Joint Secretary, and Ms. Rupa Khandelwal, Secretary, Webinar Series COWE India, and Director, Hotel Sumaditya, and Executive Committee member of COWE Rajasthan, to give the closing remarks.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. Yeah, very good afternoon, everyone. Wow, such an informative and highly energized webinar. As Mohna ma'am said, it was a Shaktiful webinar. Yes, women power. Sangeeta ji, with a great smile and energy, you started the webinar and the whole webinar proceeded with the same josh and energy. Nidhi ji, our chairperson webinar team, who dreamt and worked relentlessly for this webinar series right from the beginning. She expressed that how the journey started of Swavalamban Sashakt and explained about the webinar series aiming at creating awareness on Stand Up India scheme for the upcoming and aspiring women entrepreneurs. And Anamika ji, our manager SIDBI, who had been instrumental in bringing up Swavalamban Sashakt as an awareness program on Stand Up India scheme. COWE felt honored to be a part of this program, ma'am, in helping more upcoming and aspiring entrepreneurs. Anamika ji explained her emotional journey with COWE right from the beginning till date, that is webinar series 1 and 2, which included a total 20 plus 20, that is 40 webinars, and this being the 40th one. Indeed, it was a great journey enlightening not only the aspiring or new entrepreneurs, but also existing and experienced entrepreneurs, listening to many successful entrepreneurs, so many business modules, and many motivational speeches from the elegant speakers. Umaji, as always, Uma Gulkaji briefed us on COWE India being one of those 6 first generation women entrepreneurs who dreamt of COWE in helping empowering women through entrepreneurship, explained about COWE and how it helps women from ideation stage to successful stage. COWE celebrated its 18th Formation Day celebration this 22nd November 2022, being instrumental in training more than 1 lakh women and stood exemplary in its vision to empower women. Umaji, a heartfelt gratitude for all the 6 of you visionary for creating such a wonderful platform to help us all. It's indeed a great tribute to all women for generations coming up. Over to you, Rupaji.
Rupa, please unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Aparna. I really agree with you. True. The concluding webinar of the series 2 saw some unprecedented and power-packed presentations. Our expert speaker, Dr. Susmita Bhattacharjee, founder, Pushan Renewable Energy Pvt Limited, shared very detailed and invaluable insights of the business model. Passion, perseverance, and resilience being her defining keynotes. Mr. Akhilesh Trivedi, global mentor and strategist, shared his expertise and how to transform an idea to scalable and sustainable venture, sharing the success mantra, never ever give up. The session was then taken over by our motivational speaker, Dr. J. Mohana Sundari, Managing Director, Sharp Electrodes Pvt Limited, KJ Sharp Trendies, who shared her real-life experiences and challenges as an entrepreneur, always keeping in mind that we have to act and not react, and keeping the 3 E's: energy, enthusiasm, and empathy. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Then we had Ms. Susila K, retired Deputy General Manager, Canara Bank, who explained how to borrow loans under the Stand Up India scheme, keeping in mind the norms and prerequisites from a banker's angle. Our Stand Up India beneficiary, Ms. Preeti Agarwal, shared her highly inspiring success story. She shared how the SUI scheme helped her in achieving her dream of being a successful entrepreneur. Ms. Sangeeta Singh smoothly moderated the webinar. Over to you, Sangeeta.
I would just like to add here the warm welcome address by Ms. Shivani Bohra, President Rajasthan chapter, which was like an icebreaker for the entire webinar. So thank you, Shivani. Yeah. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Thank you, Aparna ji. Thank you, Rupa ji. Thank you, Nidhi. And now I'd like to request our CA Ruchika Saraf to deliver the vote of thanks. She is the Secretary of COWE Rajasthan. Ruchika.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of COWE India, I would like to extend my gratitude to Ms. Anamika Rajkumari, Manager SIDBI, for gracing us with her presence. Thank you, ma'am. Our sincere gratitude to entire SIDBI team for their support. We are thankful to Ms. Uma Gurkha, COWE Founder and Director, for her motivation and guidance. Our special thanks to Ms. Madhu Tyagi, National President, COWE India, Ms. Nidhi Tosniwal, Secretary, COWE India and Chairperson of the webinar series, Ms. Aparna Darsi, Joint Secretary, COWE India and Vice Chairperson of the webinar series, Ms. Rupa Khandelwal, Executive Committee Member of COWE Rajasthan Chapter and Secretary of Webinar Series, for being the pillar of power. I would also like to thank Ms. Shivani Bora, President, COWE Rajasthan Chapter, without whom this event could not be a success. Our heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Susmita Bhattacharjee, Founder, Pushan Renewable Energy Pvt Limited, Expert Speaker of the Day, for enlightening us with her knowledge. Mr. Akhilesh Trivedi, Global Mentor and Strategist, for sharing his experience. I would also like to thank Dr. J. Mohan Sundari, Managing Director, Sharp Electrodes Pvt Limited, Ms. Shushila K, Deputy General Manager, Canara Bank, and Ms. Preeti Agrawal, co-founder, Moorni Fashion, for sharing their graceful words with us. I would also like to thank Ms. Sangeeta Singh from COWE Rajasthan Chapter for moderating the entire session so flawlessly. I take this moment to thank the entire audience for making this event a memorable success. Thank you, everyone.
I would just like to add here, in this series of thank yous, a big shout out to all